Good morning, and welcome to the fourth episode of Lionsworld Weekly, where we bring you weekly business insights. My name is Tian Xiang, I'm your host for today, and this is my speaker, Mr. John Tan. Now, it's been a whole month since we started this entire weekly program, and we've covered a lot of different topics along the way. In week 1, we talked about the entrepreneur spirit, where we emphasized on the core values of being an entrepreneur. In week 2, we talked about reach and how important it is to let people know that you are doing business. And finally, in week 3, which was last week, we talked about read, where it's all about the eyeball catch, the talking point. And that's a lot of information for us to digest. So we thought that it would be good to have a recap session of everything that we've talked about so far. Now, with a little twist, of course. Since we started this program, a lot of people have asked us, how is what you have been speaking about relevant to my current situation? Because Mr. Tan has given us some very good points, but how do you apply it in your own day-to-day life, day-to-day business? Now, when we talk about current situation, one thing that we cannot leave alone is Covid-19, of course. And so we had a little segment last week where Mr. Tan talked about how Covid-19 has impacted businesses, has impacted people around the world actually. So right now what we are going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a session, just a little bit about how COVID-19 has impacted and affected people. So Mr. Tan, what do you think about COVID-19?
Okay, now let's face the situations. You should hear very common people tell you, crisis mean opportunities. But in fact, most of people understand this statement, but never know why. I'm old enough to go through many crises in the past. Let us go through the last 40 years, the situation of business. Then you will understand what opportunities around for COVID-19. In 1980, business environment is very less competitive. Competitive is words. Of course, at all times, people say, oh, very competitive. But in fact, in 1980, the competitiveness is very low. So during that time, if we start a business, you are much easier than today. Much, much easier. Then when time goes, then there's a situation appear in Singapore that say Singaporean are lack of entrepreneurships, and they start, so-called the government start to keep encouraging entrepreneurships. Well, then they stimulated a lot of youngsters, like fresh graduates. They start doing some small business. And more young graduates join, because even in their campus before they graduate, they started what retail shop combination kind of scheme to give you a free space for try to sell things. Times go, we face major crisis. The world had many times of financial crisis, equity crisis. They are very used to how to handle. Like share market go down, after a few months, well, it bounced back. The first time the world faced a called unpredictable and unexperienced crisis is 1998, when the Asia financial crisis, so-called the currency crashing. At the time, everybody is a loss because no one ever faced such a major currency crisis in their life. But at the time, the crisis is get over very quickly. I think less than 5 months, 6 months, to overcome this fear of crisis. Of course, it is actually someone do a good job by saying that, well, I'm not going to give you the right to fix my currency. I fix myself a price. And they really stopped the whole 1998 Asia financial crisis. But at the time, the youngsters are still believing in entrepreneurship. They come up all kind of funny products, funny idea to sell to market. And they get over 1998. The next one of a kind financial crisis is 2008. That is US subprime crisis. Well, the loan bust in most of the financial institutions. The so-called instrument they created in the financial market bust one after one another. And there is such thing called QE, creativeness. Start printing money. That solved the 2008. 2008 subprime crisis lasts about 6 months. And now, 2019, we face the so-called Covid19. Well, we have not faced such a big crisis in the world before. But this time round, the entrepreneurship gone. If you ask the new graduate, if you ask the old people, they will tell you better do anyhow do. Keep the money and at the same time don't know what to do. The young people at this crisis did not perform as 2008, 2018. They start do Grab delivery, take a bicycle, but they still can earn some money. At least they are not in hunger. They give pressure that as they will not be able to have more people to help to build the economies. Well, I take estimations. At least 100,000 of people is driving Grabs or doing Grab delivery. Yeah, you did give them an income, but it killed the economies because we will not have enough entrepreneurships. Now, what is the opportunity in this crisis? The opportunity is you have less competitions. Go for it. You want to rent a shop to operate a business, you want to rent a store to operate. Well, there's always available. Before COVID-19, you want to find an empty store in any coffee shop, I think you are dreaming. Even you got one empty slot, I tell you the price is going to skyrocket high. Few days ago, I was at this Xinmin Road having my breakfast while I servicing my car. I went to a coffee shop. They have two empty stores. I purposely take down the contact number. One store they're only asking for about 1,300. Still no taker. This give you the opportunity. Go for it. That is where the statement means crisis give opportunity. Now you want to sell anything, you want to do anything except so-called the high-end industry, you will have empty chance. Now, I suggest you observe a little bit of the coffee shop. You have found that they are much easier to recruit cleaner. That tell you what, you can start Lasanoma store very well with manpower available, with space available. That's why I say, now, someone asked me this question: what is the best way of earning money nowadays? I say, if you are not a liar, if you're not willing to go and cheat, then it's a bit harder. They say, ask me why I say this statement. I said, look, you want to do so-called your dream business, like what IT lah, what inventions lah, or high-end industry, you got find fintech lah, all these sort of things. First of all, it's not because you know how to do business first. First of all, you must know how to tell a story. Good story. And go out to get people to invest on you. And the story must be well done. Whether it's lies or not lies. Your story must be good. And you can raise money. Once you raise your money, first of all, you pay yourself salary. Very well done pay. And after that, go for your dream. If lucky enough, you succeed. If not lucky enough, you burn others' money. And this is now common in the world. I have to warn you. Out of 100 story, 99.9 fail. If you want to do this, if you are prepared to do this, you must have a good personality and make people believe you are honest, you are real entrepreneurs, and you know how to please them. And get your money in hand and you start behave like a rich man. That is the present trend in the world.
So, Mr. Tan, would you say that actually 99.9% of business fail because they don't They are not humble enough as entrepreneur?
No, they are dreamer. So end day, not many of you can actually convince people to give you money. So what choice you have? I tell you, the best missus now is go down to the ground and do the basic trade.
So to be humble.
It's not humble. It's that is the industry nobody want to go. All these so-called planner, creator, they only go for high end. They just wanted to wrap in as much as money as possible, and then whether the business success or not, it's not a real concern. Because whatever they do, they lost other people money. At the same time, they have a good salary themselves, good income, and end day, even the Mrs. Boss, he's still rich. This is not scam. This is who asked you to believe me, to give me money to operate my dream. But don't run this, because you may destroy your life. Go back to basic. Now, you already have an opportunity to succeed in the basic F&B. If you want me to tell you some story, I have a lot of story to tell you how people success in this industry. But the first thing, please evaluate. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you prepared to do from what you have? Are you really can work hard, focus on what you're going to do, improve yourselves every day? But if you think you are damn good, wow, I have a university graduate degree. You ask me to go and sell last lemak. I tell you, selling last lemak, you can't do it. So, my suggestion still, go back to the basic. Go back to the basic. And basic, nobody want to go. You go. Then you will make it. The opportunity in this COVID-19 give you the basic opportunity. Now, I have tried to listen to the government budget. I really think that the word is too deep for me to understand what they're talking. But I believe there will people understand what they're talking, and that is also what they believe. I'm here to encourage youngsters. Don't spend your lifetime to drive Grabs, to deliver Grab foods. Start your own and have a good job. There's one criteria I forgot about telling you about entrepreneurship. That's age. If you are the age of above 55 or 60, please don't try. Because this industry, you need at least 5 to 10 years to conquer the world. And if you don't have the age to look for it, I tell you, please don't take the stress unnecessary. And I explain to you, believe in reach is telling you, if you start a small business, aggressively go around to tell people you do this business. Aggressively, non-stop. non-stop go and tell people that you are doing this business. That reach is the success of business. Everyday target at doing 5,000 reach is necessary. And then after that, fine-tune your marketing skill of creating reach and read. Then you should success. Now I have to go off to answer questions.
Okay, so Mr. Tan, Mr. Adam asks, because we mentioned earlier that 99% of businesses fail, so is it risky to start a business? How do we ensure that we are not actually part of this 99% fail?
It's not risky to start a business. It's risky you can't start. It's risky you can't maintain. If you cannot maintain your fighting spirit, if you cannot maintain your fighting spirit, that is the common risk. It's like you may do 3-day reach. No? After 3 days, you will not do. Human nature. The risk is on you and not on the business or not on the trade itself. Next question.
Well, also Mr. Jabers does ask, once again, just now you did mention something about university education. Do you think actually it's important to get a university education to effectively run the successful business?
I tell you, I meet many young people. Everybody regretted they don't have a university degree. So what they do? Let the university cheat you. Some university conduct course. You should get a degree after 3 years. And you learn nothing. Your degree is not important. It's you more important than your degree. It's you are the success key, not your degree. I will sympathize you. I told all the candidates who come to my table for interview, if you have to show me what degree you have and give me one whole stack of paper and put in front of you, but you can't impress me, you can't tell me what is behind the paper, I will really pity you. Next question.
I mean, this is a question from my own. In that case, what kind of experiences do you think will help with being an entrepreneur? Because if it's not university,
no experience required. Only thing required is you have the spirit to say, I will make it. During my time, we are at a very poor economics time. In my class, so called, I have classmates. Because of the family financial, that time don't have such thing called student loan. They have to find a way to maintain their own school fees, even transport. For that reason, I have some classmate. After work, he go to hawker center and sell urban. 35 cents. Every day he earn $2, $3, $4. It is really your fighting spirit. Do I have any more questions?
yes. So Mr. Andrew does. I mean, this question we've answered before, but Mr. Andrew asks, what do you think is a suitable business to go for there in this period?
You ask this question, you hope me to tell you IT? You hope me to tell you financial? I tell you, Covid-19 is not over because equity market will be the last disaster. So, once the equity market busts, then the crisis come to the end. I don't think you are telling me you like basic business. Go back to the basic, please. Any other more question?
Well, from the comments itself, it doesn't seem that we do have any other questions. But do you have anything to close, Mr. Tan?
Okay. Now, my dear friends, there's only one thing I will hope it does benefit you. Don't just understand theory. Like thing like statement like we everything start from small and all this, but when you think about big. Or don't think about don't every time think about, well, it's not my fault. It's this one how to earn money. And just to understand. A lot of people understand our theory. Just acquiring theory is not good enough. Please do it. So, if you'd like to hear any other topics that to be included in our weekly program, please can write to us, and if the topic is acceptable, means don't ask me the comments, think out of my ability. We'll try. Okay? Any other things? If not, we are going to close the session. Time's up, right?
Okay. So thank you everybody for joining us for the 4th episode of Lionsworld Weekly. We will be back next week with another episode with more weekly business insights. My name is Tian Xiang and this is Mr. John. Thank you so much and have a very nice day.
Thank you.